fact, let me just get the pyramid ready so I can give it to him. You have a document cam shot. People watching on Prisonplanet.tv. Let me see. Here's the pyramid. And we've just been taught to be spectators. That's another group. They've gotten good people to be spectators. So that's how they've gotten us, the real protectors, out of the game by watching the television mind control device. So the normal protectors with normal wiring and a good upbringing that's being phased out, they're busy mesmerized in a dream state. Or if they wake up, they're called conspiracy theorists, okay? But then you've got you've got the zombies. And you've got the quasi-zombie spectators. So I guess he does have it right. Zombie spectators will be the term. You've got the deniers that think it's trendy to go along with whatever the system says because they're like pretending they're winning by doing that. Then you got the sociopaths. Then you've got schemers. Then you've got the technocrat vampires. And then you've got the supreme overlord vampires who really hate the vampires beneath them and the schemers and are usually physically destroying them on a routine basis because they got to keep their numbers down or they'll scheme together and unseat the master vampires. One of the worst jobs to have is to be a technocrat vampire. I mean, it doesn't even really mean, like, he's kind of a mercenary vampire. You might not even enjoy what you're doing. A lot of them do, but they mainly do it because they want to feel good about themselves. The famers, the mercenary fame people. They'll do. I mean, there's a lot of reasons they can get them to sell out. You know what? We're going to come back with more calls. Then I'm going to get into Israel rounds up Africans who threaten the character of the Jewish state, Reuters reports. Man, imagine if they rounded up the black people here. That'd be called racist, but not when Israel does it. We'll be right back. Stay with us. For a long time. Yeah, you think 30,000 armed drones illegally operating against the American people, Pentagon run, is bad? You think the UN and NATO saying that they openly run our military and Congress should sit down and shut up and Congress did? You ain't seen nothing yet. You think they're going to ban soft drinks with sugar in them? You ain't seen nothing yet. They're going to ban popcorn and over certain amounts of beef, chicken, meat. They've said they're going to ban it. It's carbon tax. It's all here. It's all happening. They're going to dig through your trash can. It's already begun. In Miami and other areas, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is all planned. UN, global government, set up by eugenicists. They set up UNESCO. They've said their plan. You notice yesterday I played part of that Ray Kurzweil clip from the big UN summit in Moscow. And coming up later in the news segment, after I take some more calls, I'm going to play a clip from it. The part we didn't get to. But you notice they say, we will merge with machines and live forever and fly through space. That's a UN transhumanist quote by Ray Kurzweil that I put with the quote in Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, in 2007, 5 years ago. And I've had countless newspapers come out and make fun of me for that and go, Alex says they're going to merge with machines, live forever, and fly around in spaceships. I was giving the quote by the crazy elite that say after they kill us, they're going to do all this. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but everything they said they do so far in the plan, they've been following. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that they're going to keep doing all. I mean, Ted Turner, all of them are like, yeah, we're going to kill 90% of you. Yeah, we're going to build level 4 bioweapons labs all around you. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to build them in level 2 facilities where we can get out. Oh, okay. We're just supposed to just sit here and go, oh, everything's fine. Hey, Mitt Romney, man, he's going to fix it. Yeah, oh, yeah. Bought and paid for by the same people. It's all just window dressing. Obama, Romney. They got a puppet dancing in front of me going, look at the puppet, look at the puppet. And I'm like, look at the guy pulling the puppet. It's the same guy. Hey, look, here's Mitt Romney. Here's Barack Obama. Ron Paul, 4 years ago, he said, hey, I'm not going to support McCain. I can't. He's basically the same as Obama. Everybody's like, wow, he really understands it. 4 years later, hey, we're doing what we got to do. We may not even have a counter conference. The Republicans might get mad. We're bringing in all these mainline Republican strategists. Well, hey, we don't like that. Well, we don't need you anymore. People that brought us to this, you libertarian constitutionalists, we're merging with the Republican Party. That's basically the message. We want the Republican Party to like us. That's what they've all said. Okay, I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I understand your thought process. It's incredibly flawed. I mean, I liked the Ron Paul of 4 years ago, not this new one. And please don't say, oh, there's Ron Paul didn't do this. Yeah, he did. He coordinated this with Rand Paul. Last week, the announcement that, okay, our campaign is over. We're not going to have the delegates we needed, as if that wasn't the case for months. Right as Rand comes out with his announcements. It's deals being made behind the scenes. And we're not being told about those deals. Ray in because we're the stupid, unwashed Ron Paul supporters. Let's talk to Ray in California. Go ahead.
Alex?
Yes?
Hey, Alex, did you read the New York Times this morning?
No.
The New York Times today has Syria on the front page.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know they're all saying they're going to attack it. Yeah, but we're fearmongers to say that they're openly calling for aerial bombardments and ground invasions. I see this Pentagon thing on my website, but in the comments saying we're making it up that anything's about to happen in Syria. Yes.
You know that Syria is a trigger for a nuclear holocaust.
Well, the Russians do say that they're moving nukes into those areas and but so what? The bankers have underground bunkers. Everything's fine.
And they're also doing Soros techniques in Russia, and they're trying to get the back door reinitiated in China through payoffs.
Exactly. And then they say you're not patriotic if you don't support Soros. Hey, I don't like the Russian government and the stuff they do, but they're not over here running my life. They're not the ones launching drones against me. They're not the ones brain damaging our kids with forced vaccines and lying about it. You know, I'm sick of the system. Oh, the Muslims will get you. Give your rights up, and they run the Muslim Al-Qaeda. Or the Russians will get you while they pay to ship our factories to China.
Yeah, the reason why they want to reestablish the back door is because they want to have a limited nuclear holocaust that they can pull it off.
Yeah, more and more I think that Joel Skousen's right about this, but he thinks it comes in 5 to 10 years. I mean, the elite are digging in bunkers like it's going to happen tomorrow, telling us we're kooks if we have some storable foods. Don't have storable foods, but we're building giant billion-dollar bunkers. Okay. And we're building bioweapon labs all around your major cities that if any of it gets out, it'll kill 90% of you. But everything's fine. Don't be a conspiracy theorist. That means don't question. I'm sorry, go ahead, conspiracy theorist.
What they want to do here, is they want to have a bio-holocaust before the nuclear holocaust. And they want to have the nuclear holocaust by the end of this year, beginning of next year.
All right, I hope you're wrong, but there's no telling what they'll do. They financed Hitler, Mao, and everybody else. I mean,
we're on the march. The empire's on the run.
The globalists are totally committed. The printer ink is bisphenol A to sterilize you and your family and give you cancer. Look it up. All the major GMO crops have back doors built in to create pesticides to give you cancer, reduce your fertility, and mutate you by the 3rd generation to the point of not even being human. Look it up. We are being hit from every side. Most of us are already walking dead. Just to understand that, this is toe-to-toe combat with the eugenics black op command force that's infiltrated every level of society and used brainwashing flicker rates to put the general public into deep trances. If you're able to understand this transmission, it means that you've broken the trance at some level. If you're laughing uncontrollably right now, that's an inlaid program to laugh when you hear the truth. You've been preconditioned by all the different messaging and things, mainly at the subliminal level. Let me hit some more news, and then we'll get back to your calls. I mentioned this earlier, and I saw this in Reuters this morning. There's an article at Infowars.com going over it with the quotes. Israel rounds up Africans who threaten the character of the Jewish state. And what happened is King Solomon did have a bunch of wives from Ethiopia. And much of Ethiopia says they're Jewish. It's some of the oldest Christian groups as well down there, and they've been able to immigrate in. But Israel's decided that ain't the way it's working. So I've got it here out of Reuters. Israel government wants to get rid of 60,000 African migrants whose growing numbers are seen by many Israelis as a law and order issue, even a threat to the long-term viability of the Jewish state, according to Reuters. And it goes on, for some in Israel, built by immigrants and refugees, internment and deportation are bad solutions. Well, my issue is, why were they let in as workers to begin with? And listen, if you're going to have a country, I mean, France isn't French anymore. England's not. And I'm not bashing the groups that have come there wanting a better life. But, the point is that the Israel lobby in this country is always lobbying for open borders, gun control, trying to manipulate our policies so we're a kept nation to keep funding what's happening over there. That's my irritation. And I mean, you know, saying we're going to ship the black people out, and I've seen articles like where they say, you know, you'll be arrested if you marry a Jewish woman. I mean, you can look that up. That's like Jerusalem Post. My only issue is I don't want to be lectured all day by big Israeli war hawk, you know, dual citizen people in Congress about how if I don't want Obamacare, I'm a racist, when I'm not even thinking about race. And I'm not here henpecking at Israel either. But, I mean, it is a religious, racial state. This is, kind of stuff goes on. Most countries in history have been religious or racial. So my whole point is that this is what I shove in the face of the Israel lobby. It's a diverse lobby, but, you know, the really liberal sections of it aren't liberal at all. You know, they want everybody in Israel to have M16s, taxpayer paid for. By me, by you, but then lobby to get our guns. In fact, there's the article out of Reuters. Israel said Monday it started rounding up African migrants in the first stage of a controversial emergency plan to intern and deport thousands deemed to be a threat to the Jewish character of the state. I mean, can you imagine if the headline, you know, thousands of blacks to be rounded up because they're a threat to the character of the United States state. But I guess I need to be politically correct, so I support Israel and what they're doing. I think it's not racist at all. I'm being sarcastic. I mean, it's just so over the top, folks. It's so over the top. I'll probably get attacked by the ADL for criticizing it. The ADL caught breaking into police departments, stealing files on people. They don't need that now. They got Google. The ADL running around... Southern Poverty Law Center and others, a bunch of these groups have been caught creating fake white supremacist groups. Oh, man. One time I went out to protest a white supremacist rally in downtown Austin, and I'd played it on local cable TV, and I was like, these white supremacists all look like Howard Stern with short haircuts. I mean, it was like totally, and later came out it was fake, and they get everybody fighting with each other. Again, most people in Israel don't like what's happening. Most of the Jews I talk to in the U.S. are against what's happening. And you know, the media tries to make it either a monolithic, you totally support everything Israel does and don't question anything, meaning the government of Israel, or you're anti-Semitic, or you totally hate Israel, or you're bad. And I find the same crazy vitriol from the pro-Israel camp and the anti-Israel camp. And this is the type of stuff that really leads to big problems. And I don't see how Israel can continue on doing things like this. I mean, there's 60,000 black Africans there. But what Reuters doesn't mention is almost all of them got there because they come from communities that for thousands of years have said they're Jewish. And they're proud of the fact. And they have, you know, features that are more, you know, Semitic than African. I mean, they clearly have some of those features. They say they have that bloodline. It's been adopted. It's been accepted by Israel. And now you're going to tell them that they're not Jewish. I mean, that's what's not really being said here. They were led into Israel as refugees back in the 60s and 70s and 80s because they are Jewish, a lot of them, or say they are. And my whole issue is that it's just amazing. I mean, that's all I can say. And to say because of crime, you know, the old thing that blacks are all criminals. I mean, they even throw that in there, and it's like, because it's Israel, it's like, well, okay, you know, those blacks, they're criminals. The New York Times will probably say what I just said, take it out as a quote and say I said it when I was quoting what's going on in Israel. Just amazing. Okay, now I've ranted about that too long. I've got all this other news I want to get to. I played part of this yesterday, a big UN event in Moscow a few months ago. Ray Kurzweil running it. In Endgame, and I still need to do a video on this showing what I said in Endgame with the quotes versus what Ray Kurzweil and the UN say. And the UN was set up by transhumanists, which is the new name for eugenicists. They even said that. They said, well, Hitler made us look bad. We'll call ourselves transhumanists. And now if you're into empowering humanity, making the blind see, you think, oh, that's what they are. No. They say they're going to